So if you guys have been following my daily vlogs, you'll have seen that I moved into this brand new house with this joint kitchen diner, and I wanted to have a little bit of an entertainment centre in the room, and I wanted it to be powerful but at the same time really minimal. So let me take you through the finished product and what I have here. And bear in mind guys, this is still a whip, a work in progress. So if you guys have any suggestions, feel free to put them down there in the comments because I'm still open as to things I could do with this. One of the things I definitely want to do is get some sort of console table to put here in between the two speakers to hide the plug sockets and have a little shelf with maybe a couple little plants on it just to finish off the room. And I will also be getting a new sofa here, but I've already ordered that. Seeing as my blinds this morning have just been installed, really finishes off this setup for now so we can do this video. So let me show you through exactly what kit is running my kitchen setup. So guys, I'm starting from outside because as you can see, stood out on the little terrace piece here, if you call this a terrace, it looks absolutely awesome looking in at this setup. The whole thing looks super clean, and that was what I was going for. And when you stand outside looking in, it really demonstrates that. But the reason I'm bringing you this video today is because, well, I feel like we are ready to do it. As you can see, if I close these big bifolding doors, there we go, give them a lock. I've had these installed, which is really cool. So now I've got a little bit of privacy. You pull these things down, and there you go, it's all private. And I've got 3 of these things on, well, all 3 of the doors, and you can have them closed or sort of closed and open at the same time, or you can close them, and then the same on this 3rd door. And then when you bring them all in and close all of them up, it really separates you sort of from the outside world, which is what I really like. Now from inside, let's look at some gear, shall we? So guys, with all of that closed and us being a little bit more private, let me take you through what is actually on this wall. So believe it or not, on the wall there's actually a Wi-Fi access point. So let's start out boring first. Up there is the UAP AC In-Wall Pro from Ubiquiti. It's a dual band MIMO access point to give connection or 5 GHz and 2.4 Wi-Fi to the entire space in here. So that is doing all of that. Up there looks absolutely clean and bang tidy. Just down from that, we have here the 55-inch LG OLED TV. Now this is actually the 2017 model. Looks absolutely awesome. Love the thin bezels of this thing. Genuinely, with a 4K picture on this panel, like this TechFlow wallpaper, looks like a window into the outside world. It's that clear. Absolutely love this thing. And it's on a slight tilt looking down to the sofa, which will, well, soon be replaced with a much nicer one. That's just sort of temporary. And then down here guys, I've got my KEF LS50 wireless pair of speakers. Now these are my pride and joy, and they're the thing that I'm wanting to show off the most in this room, which is the whole reason why I bought these, because these are an icon, and I've got them sat on the black KEF stands for these speakers. Looks absolutely awesome, and all I've gone ahead and done is put a little bit of foam in between the stand and the speaker just for acoustic reasons. Not really sure why or how it helps, but if you speak to any audiophile, they'll tell you, put a bit of foam under your speaker because it helps it sound better. I think it's something to do with vibrations or something. But this is the left channel speaker. So this is actually the slave speaker, and I'll get into what that means in just a second. But the one thing I wanted to show you or emphasize with this is that how I've run the cables. So this speaker is the slave, and then the one over there, the right channel, is the master. Now the master controls everything, and all the slave does is just play music essentially from the left channel. Now the left and the right channel speakers connect to each other with an Ethernet cable, and they both require power. So there's actually 2 cables that go up to this speaker, Ethernet and power, and what I've done is ran them in a little bit of sheath here so it looks really professional out of a brush plate in the wall. Really finishes the whole thing off, and because these things are sort of an icon stood here by themselves, your eyes are drawn to them, and you need the cables all hidden, looking lovely. And guys, down here, the right channel speaker. Now this is the master speaker, this is where everything plugs into, so you have a network connection to this, so they have Ethernet going into this from the network, because these are the wireless variant of the speakers. Now that's just marketing terminology, it doesn't mean they're actually wireless, it just means they have a built-in amplifier and DAC, so you can do things like stream Spotify, connect to these things. So carrying on with this, guys, the same thing applies. I've gone ahead and I have put the sheathing around the cables. So into this speaker, as I've said, we've got network access, then the Ethernet to the other speaker, and then we've also got the subwoofer out from this speaker, which goes down here in the wall, out through that brush plate into the REL subwoofer. It's just a tiny little 8-inch sub because I love a little bit of low-end bass. Now don't get me wrong, these speakers are very capable and awesome at producing bass, but for the real low-end stuff, just the addition of a little sub down there helps me out significantly. Now, as you can see up there, there is a wallpaper on the TV and a Windows 10 gaming computer connected up to it. And these speakers do work with that computer, and they interface with the computer, not via a 3.5mm audio jack, but much via USB, which means the speakers can actually do all the processing. Makes the sound quality absolutely awesome. And listening to master quality files through Tidal on these things is an absolute dream. So let me show you guys where the computer is, because it's all hidden. Now unfortunately, I'm sure you're aware, and I also hate to break it to you, but to do all of this isn't easy, and it's not a walk in the park. You actually have to rip apart your walls to run cables, but as you can see, I've done an insane job with the help of my friend Luke at plastering all of this back up and painting back over it. You'd never even know, guys, that there's hundreds of cables running behind this wall to make this setup as minimal as it is. And talking about those cables, well, we had to run power from down there all the way up here for the TV. We've also had to run a couple of HDMI cables from this TV, 4K ones mind, through the wall over there, and then also the cables from the KEF speaker here, the USB, and I've also ran an optical and a 3.5mm just for future proofing in case I want to plug other things in over into this wall too. You're probably thinking, Alex, why are you running everything over to this wall? Well, let me tell you why. And the brains are in, guys, this understairs cupboard. Now let me show you what is going on, and I think it's going to actually shock quite a lot of you. So in here, in the understairs cupboard, it's probably only just big enough to fit a small human like me inside of here, is a lovely shelf as to which I put up to house my HP Omen laptop. Now you guys are thinking, this whole thing is run by a laptop? And yes, but not just any laptop. This is the HP Omen, the maxed out daddy. This has got an 8GB 1080 in here, graphics. It's got a Core i7 7800K processor that can turbo boost up to 3.8 GHz, I believe. It's got a 256GB NVMe for the OS, and then a 1TB storage drive for all the games and things you want to store on here, and then it also has 16GB of RAM. So that is what is running all of that, and it does an absolutely superb job, that 1080 graphics card kicking out a full 4K signal. So essentially in this laptop, I've got the USB connection to the speakers, so that can handle all of the sound. I've got one HDMI cable that goes up to the TV, and I've also got a USB extender cable that runs up to the TV too. So if I do want to plug a memory stick into the computer, I don't have to do it in here. I can simply just go behind the TV over there and plug in a memory stick. It's an all-in-one solution that works really, really well, and to pull something like this off, it just takes a little bit of planning. So all you guys are probably thinking, Alex, how do you interface with the setup? Well, I sit down on this sofa with this big thing here. Now this big thing is the LAPBOARD from Corsair with the wireless mechanical keyboard in it. Now listen to me type on this. Proper mechanical gaming keys, right? And this is all wireless. And on this mouse pad here, I've got the Logitech MX Master, one of my favorite mouses. Mouses, whatever. It's all wireless and it works really, really well. And to be honest, even at 4K resolution on the TV, the input lag really isn't that bad. I mean, you can general browse in 4K and it looks absolutely fine. A little bit of lag, but if you were gaming, I would definitely drop down to 1080p so you get a better response time on the TV. And talking about gaming, that laptop is definitely more than capable. So as you guys can see the gaming experience on this keyboard, and it also has LEDs behind it as to which you can change the pattern on. Not the colour, just the pattern though, is absolutely, well, phenomenal. I get a full-on gaming experience. The lag between the wireless keyboard really isn't that bad, and obviously the well-renowned MX Master mouse is doing an absolutely superb job, as it does on the tin, as it literally says on the can. What I'll do, guys, is I'll put links to all this gear in the description so you guys can go ahead and pick and choose what you'd like to maybe or maybe not purchase out of it. But as I say, I recommend all the gear that I'm using here. It's absolutely awesome, and it all works really, really well. As you can see, I'm playing a little bit of Fortnite here just to demonstrate that you can genuinely play an FPS game on this entire setup without much lag and drop down into 1080p. So guys, I'm super happy with all of this. I think it's wicked, and I hope you guys do too. If you guys have got any other suggestions, then please let me know in the comment section down below, and or on Twitter, we're at TechFlow Tweets. But there you guys go, that was the much requested from all of our fans here at TechFlow, the simple kitchen gaming setup tour, if you even want to call it that. Not really sure what to call it. You guys make the name for it down below. But nevertheless, guys, we hope you have enjoyed this little tour. If you have, a like rating would be awesome. And if you want other little videos like this, just little short pieces of my life in one video in detail, then let us know down in the comments. But for now, my name's been Alex, this has been TechFlow, and we'll see you in the next one. Click that subscribe button right there if you're not subscribed to the channel, and watch some other bits of our content. We've got 2 right there. We'll see you soon.